Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10. Hey.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me. I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, skirt the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? Rep for your bro, for your post, your pop, and your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Hey, look how far we coming. Heartbeat on the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend, sweet. This sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family. I might just blow my wheel. Keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Lady, line 36. Guys, it's game situation.
On first down at Stanford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Throwing again at Stafford. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Stafford looks to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On the ground, this is Johnson. And some nifty running right away as he'll get this up past the 30. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want to have...
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Blue 60! Get in the weight room! Get in the weight room!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Let's get it!
Four receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short.
Hey, Orbit.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. Well, and you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Snap! Lady!
Again, it's Stafford. This will be caught at about the 6. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Prater for the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Lock in, lock in.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Going up top. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
57 to Mike. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step.
Throwing here, Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a 1st down run is sniffed out from the start as he'll drop him for a loss of 4. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Trubisky will throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
28-yard gain. And the Bears 1st down.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Switch up, switch up. 25, check 25, check 25. Watch the eye.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And Miller will pull this one in. He's got it for the Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
They'll try and punch it in. Gordon, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Melvin Gordon, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here, as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived, as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
180. 36. Quit talking about it and bring it.
From the 44, Stafford firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing to Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap, allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row.
Check. Crouch. 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 Shoot. Alert. Behind.
They go play action with Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it'll bring up third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. That'll be caught by Jordan Leggett, his tight end. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now it's Trubisky. That's into the hands of the tight end, Leggett. And he'll be taken down all the way inside Detroit's 20. A huge play there for Chicago. 52 yards. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson. His first touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Here we go.
To throw again. Stafford. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And there's was a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run on second down with Cohen. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
18.
Now Trubisky on first down. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
You ain't got nothing.
Slam.
Looking to throw. Trubisky on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1.
A 7-yard gain on the play.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff...
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jared Davis, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Gordon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now. Yeah, the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
For that, 20, 32. You must be dreaming. 44.
Stafford on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Stafford. That's to his running back, complete. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, alert 3.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Stafford. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield. And they work this out past the 25. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch 36. 36 to Mike. And let's get this. 10. 36. Line 36.
Throwing again. Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here we go.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
18.
Trubisky gives to Cohen, and he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw, Stafford. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
40 got. 40 got. Hey, 70. 36. Line 36. Move. Get ready. Get ready.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Another big play and another Lion first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? The completion good for 3, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Lions on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Alert!
Stafford looks to throw again. Completes it to Davis. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Ready? All day, dog. Check. Omaha, ready, move.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. They'll run it with Johnson, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Extra point good by Prater, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. So they touched it before it went 10, and that's obviously not going to help their comeback bid here in the 4th.
No, not at all, and they're trying to get something going after one there, but you've got to give yourself a chance. Let it go 10 before you touch it.
Kill. Hey, turn it up. Check 4. Alert. Red, hey, check Mike 57.
Looky here, Trubisky wants to throw it. He's got Burton here. 14 yards in a Chicago 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Double up. He's coming, double up.
Red,
57's Mike 57.
No gain on this defense.
Throwing on 2nd down, Trubisky. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They run it here with Gordon. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. He's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on third.
Could play an exotic coverage.
Three down. Hey, watch it.
They go to Johnson again. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
Hey, alert. 57's right. Watch the run.
Oh, Trubisky going to throw. This one into the hands of Burton. And all the way to the opposite 48. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 41 yards. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for Chicago, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Detroit, it's yet another loss as they've started